If you just walk into a store and take it off the shelf, you're rolling the dice. You don't know the lie angle, you don't know the swing weight, other than putting it down and looking how it sits. It's your own eye that's going to have to guide you. When it comes to swing weight, it's so important. We changed on tour Rory McIlroy's swing weight of his putter. It went from D4 up to being D6, all changing his feel, and then guess what? He goes on and performs the way he performs, wins the Grand Slam. If something doesn't feel right or you can't hit a club, chances are the swing weight is not where it needs to be. It's KBS X here in Carlsbad, Bressie Ranch. You can get in here and go through exactly what I'm doing. I've got Evan 2 Chains with me, looking at some swing weights on wedges. If you order some golf clubs and they're not quite built right, you can send them to this facility and they will get them made perfectly for your game by my man Evan, stood right here. So today we're going to go through my Milgrind 5 wedges. They weren't quite up to the swing weight that I wanted them. I'm going to explain to you what swing weight is and why it's so important. When I worked out on the tour week in, week out, players would not take golf clubs unless the swing weights were absolutely money. It impacts the strike point, it impacts how the flex of the golf shaft plays, which in turn is going to help you, the player, when it comes to feel. I don't care if you're a happy hamburger and you cannot hit it, or if you are a tour player of the highest level, swing weight is one of the most important things that you have to get right. So if you have no clue what I'm talking about, hit that bell notification, subscribe to the channel, because today I'm going to get into the juicy details as to what swing weight is and how the little bits can make a difference, and then we're going to watch Evan 2 Chains whip these things up to be absolutely perfect. Grab the digital scale just to show you what swing weight is. I've also grabbed a $20 note from the back seats there because we didn't have any cash on us. That weighs in at a gram, okay? This is now swing weighting at D4.1. You can dive in there, Q, and have a little look at that. Evan whacked the table and it moved to D4.1 still. Well done. Okay, if I place this on the head end, look at how much that changes our swing weight. It's bouncing up there to around D4.5. Now that was only 1 gram. So 2 grams in the head equates to 1 swing weight. 1 swing weight is going to be a letter and a number. So D4.1 right now, as we put more weight in this, it will take it up in the numbers. It's important that you understand a standard build for a male golf club is around about D3. If you get into juniors and ladies, you're going to go lighter in swing weight. What does that mean, Trotty? What are you talking about? It means the head weights are going to reduce, which is then going to allow, and this is important because of KBS, and think about how they do all their golf shafts as you come on this YouTube journey with me. This is a 120 gram wedge flex shaft. If I literally go up here and look at everything we've got, Evan, what's the lightest option in the shafts you guys have got? He's on the spot. Let's see how long it takes him.
Let's see. For our wedge shafts, it's 115.
For a wedge shafts are 115. Graphite, you're getting into like 45 grams.
45,
right?
55, max HL.
So, therefore, if you have a slower speed and you need a graphite max HL 45 gram, you then are going to need a different swing weight to get the most out of that golf shaft as you put it under stress through the golf swing. So, back to what we're doing right here, Evan, today. This bad boy's coming out at 4.1. You've gone and taken that club apart for me, so it's now in a dry build option. It's still my 52 degree. The length is the same, and then he's put this together with these weights that he has on the top. There are a few ways to do this. You can do it with lead tape, you can do it with lead powder in the glue, or you can use these weights that Evan has here, which are ways to hide the work, keep it looking tidy, rather than put lead tape on the back of your golf clubs. Q. Lead tape on the back of your golf clubs. Q.
Hey, do not zoom in.
So we're in a deep.
Hey, I saw that.
Now the only thing I'm going to call you out on here, remember when you put a little bit of glue in, this will take the swing weight up.
Yeah, for sure.
You've got to accommodate for that.
So right when we were talking about the dry weight, this is the main question we had is where do you want to sit in at? That's at 4.0. If we want to accommodate the swing weight, we got to think about epoxy. Epoxy is probably going to add, I'd say, a 0.2 to a 0.4 plus on the swing weight. So this one came out with a 1.5 gram to D4.3. He wanted 4.0 to 4.1. When you're working with someone like this, they need that number. 1 for their mental health and 2 for the physical game, but mainly for 1.
Yeah.
So right now we're gonna move down to a gram swing weight. We're gonna see where this gram one puts in. So once we put this in, it's a dry build like Trottie says. You put it in the shaft, put the head back on, and let's see where this one's at.
Now notice if you change the length or you change the grips. We did a video on Grip Master grips. If you change the grips, the weight or the number of tapes you put in or the length, it all changes the swing weight, which is why you need to get a fitting, which is why you need to go through the retro build process, which is why you got to check out all the fitting centers, because customizing these golf clubs is absolutely where you need to go.
So we went from a gram to a half gram. Now this half gram's coming up around D3.8. So with that epoxy setting in, Trottie should be around a D4.0 to 4.1. If this is cool with him, that's probably something we'll rock with. Instead of putting the lead powder, I do like those weights. Some people love them, some people hate them, but in this case scenario, it's gonna work out perfect.
Feeling the differences in these makes everything to how the clubs perform. You do want your wedges to come out a little heavier than the set. Now look, we're talking about 1 gram here for the purpose of the video, that we can make that one swing weight, sorry. The bottom line is, when it comes to wedges, you truly want to feel the heads in these so that you can hit those short shafts and get the right pressure onto the golf shaft to give you the feel you need in return.
Okay, so right here, Trottie got 3.5 if I'm correct?
Yep.
So we're looking for that 3.8 number to match the other one that we liked, because of course with epoxy again, it's coming out to around 4.0 to 4.1 where we're looking for. Right here, we're gonna do the dry testing. This is how you do a dry testing. First, we're gonna use a torch. What we're doing right here is taking off the head. After we take off the head, we're gonna move and taking off the ferrule so we can do the dry testing. From this station, we're gonna move off to our tipping prep to clean up all the excess epoxy so we get the right number we're looking for. You want this to be perfectly I would say flush, so the ferrule slips on straight and the head slips on straight. Also, so you don't have any swing weight to the machine. Something like this little epoxy actually can change the difference between the swing weight of the shaft. So this is a very important part when doing the dry builds. So when beheading a club, you're gonna have access epoxy in the shaft and right here. You gotta do a good job to clean this out for the swing weight to be in it. So first you take the drill, kind of get it out here. Take the brush, clean it out. It's gonna spin on you. Make sure you have a good tight grip. Now we clean the head out. Trottie stuff's always in the way everywhere, just like 100%. Typical.
Absolutely. I
Blow
like to
it
get
out.
amongst the action.
Now the number we're looking for is back to that 3.8. I think half of the swing weight, so we're gonna try that. So we're at 3.0. So you see how that changed. So in that regards, the head wasn't pushed all the way down. That's, like I said, it's a very important part that you clean off all the epoxy so that doesn't happen. So let's try it again with this 1 gram weight.
So what we're talking about here now, you're looking at a minor difference between the swing weight with the weight in the end and the swing weight without. So we're gonna go for another method, which is how you can get super dialed here, and we're gonna put some lead powder into the epoxy to get us to the weight we want to get to. Now the whole reason for this, as explained earlier, my wedges were coming out a little lighter than the rest of the set. I'm okay with swing weights being light by half a swing weight to a swing weight, but when the wedges are lighter than the rest of the set, that's what causes the problem. So if your wedges are too light or too heavy, let's start there, you're going to struggle with the low point for sure, and you won't quite get the benefit of the strike. If the wedges are too light, there'll be no feel in the head. Wedges are the heads that you need the heaviest. Generally, if they're heavier, then you can really put less force into the energy of the shot. As you get better at golf, less force into the end of your shot means that it will come out more dead around the greens or more spinny. So honestly, it's about how the clubs are going to play. Remember, the wedge shafts are the shortest shafts in the set, which is why you want to get the most feedback from the heads, because it's what you play for all your short scoring shots. General rule, when you go through learning initially about golf clubs, they used to go down saying, look, if the swing weight was too heavy, it would overflex the shaft and give you a missed left for a right-hander. If the swing weight's too light, it would leave the blade open. But we're deeper than that here. We're talking just about wedges. We're talking just about feel. So the main thing for a too light or too heavy swing weight is the strike, which ultimately you're trying to get super amounts of spin out of these clubs. So you need to be consistently striking it in the right place. If you're not doing that, you're not going to be a spinsman around the greens.
All right, so right here we have two different clubs. We have the 52 and the 56. As we said, the 56 needed the lead powder. This here is lead powder. Significantly different in weight, like very much so. This is quick center, which is our regular stuff. This is lead powder. On the 52, we're doing regular quick center. On the 56, we're doing lead powder.
So the quick center, just to add to that, remember when he puts the golf shaft in here, you want it centered in the hosel. So by using the quick center, it's beads that will align that shaft to be in the center of the hosel. Same with the lead. Notice how he pours it in here. He doesn't need, because it's obviously little beads, he doesn't need quick center in that one.
We're gonna add epoxy to the swing weight just so it gets stuck in there. Put it inside here, put the epoxy on the shaft and then the head. This is, you see how much epoxy is right here? This is what's giving us that extra 0.4 grams, I would say, that we were looking for. That's why we were okay with the 3.8, because with all this epoxy, it would be around the 4.1. Give it a love tap. Make sure the logo's down when you put the love tap. Grab some alcohol, turn it on the ferrule. One thing, especially dealing with players like Trottie, you always want to make sure the grip is aligned straight down to their eye, especially if they're here. Let him look at that and see how it looks.
Yeah, and to be fair, mate, I'm not going to be as ridiculous here because it's a round, but I am going to be ridiculous about the swing weight.
Let's go see it. Where's it at?
So what did we say we wanted? 3.8.
No, we want 4.1.
My man, that's good, well done. I can sleep easy at night now, Q. The other thing, by putting a bit of epoxy on that weight in the end of the tip, it's now not going to come loose as well, so you won't get any rattling or anything. That's good, well done. You passed with flying colors, Evan.
So then now we're doing the lead powder one. Same thing, mix it just like normal epoxy. Only difference is you're going to see the color comes out a little darker. It kind of looks like cement when you mix cement. I know Trottie used to be a cement man in his life, so that's what that looks like.
100%.
Same type of deal. We had no swing weight here, so we will then just do the shaft and the head and go from there.
Do you have a ferrule?
Got a ferrule already on it.
Good ferrule?
That's your ferrule.
Good, I like my ferrules.
So this one, again, we're gonna go back to that swing weight machine, make sure it clears through the boss, and figure it out from there.
So remember, if you want this done yourself and you want to make sure your clubs are bang on, you can send them here to KBS Carlsbad. They'll go through the process of getting the shafts in for you, putting them perfectly centered, getting the grips you want, getting the heads you want, and getting the swing weights, which is so important, dialed to exactly what you need. And this needs to be what, D.4 is D4.12?
Around there.
Yeah, perfect. Really good. See, again, I can rest easy now. Well done. All you fitters out there, this was the biggest area that I saw a difference between commercial fitting and tour fitting. When I got on tour, I had no clue how to match a swing weight to a set, what's the right swing weight, how people from South Africa liked it different to the guys who played on the Asian tour, what the Aussies wanted different to the PGA Tour guys, how it would all play out if you put fat grips on there, heavy grips, light grips. Why Yang back in the day, Q, you can Google him, was literally weighing his grips. All of that came to fruition and came to the top when it came to tour fitting. This is the most important thing, in my opinion, having worked across all the tours for 20 years, that guys go for. When you're staggering the weights of the shafts, as I said in the video, KBS are big for that. If you're doing that, swing weight is the one constant you need to keep in your golf clubs, as much as a golf ball is the one constant you need to keep in your bag. So fitters, take note. This one, you can learn a lot from this. One swing weight, 2 grams in the head. Remember that and use it. If someone's not hitting it well in your bay or out on the range or wherever you're fitting, swing weight is often a go-to place.